So our first thing we're going to do, I'm going to start the meeting with 2 songs, and then Charlotte's going to present, and then we'll go along to the next 2 songs. So the first 2 songs are from our book 2, Essential Elements for Ukulele, and Rock Around the Clock is on page 9. And so I want to point out some things to you. One of them is, if you have a highlighter at home, and probably you do, I don't know if it still works or not, but if you do not, I would suggest getting a highlighter so that you can use it in coming weeks. The third week of the semester, we will only be doing 1 song from this other book, which is known as the Yellow Book or Daily Ukulele. If you do not have this book, thank you. Marilyn Roth is holding it up. Daily Ukulele, the Yellow Book. Many of you probably have this from a time from the past. And I believe you can get it at Moe's, but the last time I looked, you could also get it online at Amazon. So, for Rock Around the Clock, if you do not have book 2, I happen to have it right here. All right. And why did that go so big, she asked. Let me try and shrink that so it'll all be like all on one page and be really spiffy. Come back. There you are. Okay. So let me point out a couple of things, even if you do have book 2. So the NC at the top means no chord, in case you haven't come across that in your ukulele experiences, which means we play a D and then we don't play it. 1, 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, rock. 5, 6, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, rock. 9, 10, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, rock. We're going to rock around. Okay, so then you'll see in the third line this little thing, and if you've never come across this in your musical life, what that means is we're going to be repeating. So you need to be on the lookout for where we're going to be repeating. And if you go to the very last line, you will see that there's a number 1 ending right here. I hope you can see my cursor right there. And so after we've done the verse, as it's called there, we do line 4, 5, 6. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7. And then when we get to the end, there's that repeat sign again. So we go back up to the first repeat sign here where it says verse and sing number 2. Clock strikes 2 and 3 and 4, blah, 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 blah. And then we get down to the last line and we get to number 2, the number 2 ending, which essentially is the number 1 ending, but with a few more beats to it, okay? So is there anybody who is not quite sure what we're doing? Now they suggest this strum, but if you're just transitioning from beginning to intermediate, you do not need to do that. But the strum that they're suggesting is down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down. If getting that up in there is not working for you, just do 4 downs, okay? So I will count to 4. And then we'll play 4 Ds in a row in that count. And then we'll go into the song, all right? Let me make sure I've got number 7 up there. Okay. 1, 2, 3 o'clock. 1, 2, 3 o'clock. 1, 2, 3, 4, D, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, rock. 5, 6, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, rock. 9, 10, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, rock. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight. Put your glad rags on and join me, hon. We'll have some fun when the clock strikes 1. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight. We're gonna rock, rock, rock till broad daylight. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. When the clock strikes 2 and 3 and 4, if the band slows down, we'll yell for more. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight. We're gonna rock, rock, rock till broad daylight. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. I'll say 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll strum D for 4, and then we'll start to sing. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, rock. 5, 6, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, rock. 9, 10, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, rock. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight. Put your glad rags on and join me home. We'll have some fun when the clock strikes 1. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight. We're gonna rock, rock, rock till broad daylight. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight. When the clock strikes 2 and 3 and 4, if the band slows down, we'll yell for more. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight. We're gonna rock, rock, rock till broad daylight. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight. All righty. Thank you, everybody. So let me go to the next one, which is in your book on page 32. It's every day. And this one was written and recorded by Buddy Holly. That's right. I can't hear you, but I'm going to say you all got that question right. You have an A+. Thank you very much. And so up it comes. And what I would like to point out to you about this one is that right away we have a repeat mark. So we do a D, we do G, a 7th, D, G. Most of these you know. And then right away up here in the second line, we have the first ending, and here is the repeat mark. So we go back up to the top and start the second verse. Every day it's getting faster. Then when we get to the number 1, skip over number 1 and go to number 2, the beginning of the third line, and sing way, and then we go to the bridge. G, C, F, B flat, the dreaded B flat. Just hang in there. If you can't do it, just keep playing F. A 7th, rest, the verse, and we end on love like yours will surely come my way. A rest, rest. If you feel like saying a hey, hey, please say a hey, hey. Okay, can everybody see that? And what strum do you want? Just do your very best. This is in cut time, so it's 2-2. So there's 2 beats to a measure. And so the way we would count the first measure is 1 and 2 and 1 and 2, 1 and a 2 and a 1. Okay? And so I will count to 2, and then we'll do D for 2 beats, and then we'll start the song. Okay? Every day. 1, 2, D2. Every day it's a getting closer, every closer than a roller It's getting faster. Everyone says go ahead and ask her. Love like yours will surely come my way. Hey, hey, hey. Every day seems a little longer. Every way love's a little stronger. Come what may, do you ever long for true love from me? Every day it's getting closer, going faster. That roller coaster, love like yours will surely come my way. Hey, 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 hey. Okay, thank you everybody for your attention. And now I would like to turn it over to Charlotte. I'm going to mute myself, Charlotte, if you will unmute yourself.
The first thing we're going to do is a strumming exercise, which is, it was a handout. It says more strumming. So if you copied your handouts, if you printed them, or if you have them on your iPad, that's the one we want, more strumming. I have to keep tuning my ukulele because I got new strings, and it's been an issue with the tuning. So hopefully I can stay in tune long enough to do this. Okay, are we ready? We're beginning with, it's 4/4 time, and it is, we're going to play C. It's eighth notes. Okay, does everybody have it? Just your basic up and down strum. Okay, let's go. It's eighth notes, and we're doing C and G. So we're doing 2 measures of C and 2 measures of G. So you can probably follow along.
Oh, okay.
1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, you're gonna you're gonna share it. You find it. It's more strumming. It's right there. There you go. Okay, and you're going to have to move it down, but we'll do one section at a time, so that'll be fine. Okay, so we'll start out 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do that again. I'm having a little trouble here with my ukulele. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, now Jan, if you'll move it down. So we're going to do, now we're going to do a little variation of that. And so you can see it's 1, 2, and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, and 3 and 4. Except I forgot to change chords. 1, 2, and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, and 3 and 4 and. Okay, so do a G. 1, 2, and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, and 3 and 4 and G, 3 and 4 and D7, 2. So start with the G. 1, 2, and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, now Jan, if you'll move it down a little bit. I was thinking there were 2 lines. Okay, this one I kind of call it, it's sort of like an island strum, but it's not. So it goes 1, 2, and 3. Oh, I can't see that. I'm going to have to go to 1, 2, and 3. Well, let's see. Down, down, up, 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 down, 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 up, down. I'm messing this up. Down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down. Okay. This is a tricky one. So we're going to do G and then we're going to do C. We can slow it down. Down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up. let's do G again. Down, down, up, down, down, up, down, 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 up. So it's a continuation, but it's kind of like an island strum in that you're missing some beats in there. Okay, before we go off of this, I want to show you something about, we're going to talk about key signatures. Whoops, stay back there, Jan, on the more strumming. These were all in 4/4 time, and Jan explained cut time to you. But while we're here on this page, I wanted to show you the key signatures. And you have G, the key of G. It has an F sharp, and that is the key of G. And then the next one is also the key of G. Now there's several ways to know, well, there's probably 2 or 3 ways to know what a song, what key it's in. But one of them is to look at the key signature, and that's the most accurate way. A lot of times the song will start with the key that it's in, and it almost always ends in the same key. But sometimes they don't start with the key, and in fact we'll be looking at some today. I want you to go to your book now, and I want you to go, we're going to look at a little bit more on time signatures, and then we're going to look at key signatures. So I want you to go to page 7 in your book. And we have 3/4 time. So Amazing Grace. Amazing Grace in 3/4 time. The 3 stands for, do you know what the 3 stands for? In fact, if you'd like to unmute right now, you can, because we're not going to play for just a couple minutes. So if it's 3/4 time, what does the 3 on top stand for?
It stands for 3.
3 beats per measure. And the 4 on the bottom?
A quarter note gets 1 beat.
1 beat equals a quarter note. A quarter note equals 1 beat. Okay. And we talked about, Jan did the cut time for you, and common time is 4/4. But usually in the books I've seen lately, we always see the 4/4. They don't use the C for the common time. How about 6/8? I don't have an example of it in my book, but what about 6/8? How many beats per measure?
6.
And what is a beat worth? What is the note value?
8th note.
An eighth note, right. An eighth note, right. Okay, now let's talk about key signatures for a minute. On page 6, wait, that's the wrong page number, sorry. I want you to look at page 3 of the book. And you have a B flat in the key signature. So what key is that? Does anybody know?
F.
It's an F. So if it has 1 B flat, the key is F. Now, if you look at the opposite page on page 2, there's another F sharp in the key signature. That is in G. Okay, it's going to get more complicated than this, but we're going to keep it kind of simple for now. Then I want to look at page 8. Aha. Page 8, we have 2 sharps, an F and a C. So it's in the key of what?
F and C.
D.
Oh.
D. Yeah, and this is easy, right? Because you've got the key signature, you've got the chord there to tell you. Now we're going to do a little test, and we're going to go to page 6. Joshua fit the battle of Jericho. What key is that in?
Key of F.
F, right. Thank you. It's a 1 B flat, so that's a key of F. Okay. The next little test we're going to do is page 12. If this is going over your head, don't worry about it. We're going to go back over it a whole bunch of times, and you'll figure it out. Okay, on page 12, we have Sweet Home Chicago is the name of the song. and it has one sharp. What key is it in?
G.
It's in
G.
G, yeah. And it starts with a D7, so that could throw you off. But you have the key signature, so you know that. You know that's a G. It's in the key of G. Okay, and on page, one more little test, page 25. And the song is Sidewinder. Two sharps, an F and a C. What we're going to do now is some arpeggio. And if you have the book, you can turn to page 14. If you don't have the book and you downloaded or printed, you would have printed the 2 arpeggio pages that I had on the Dropbox, in the Dropbox. So I want to just double check my tuning here. Yeah, it's okay. All right, so we're going to do, the book calls it finger picking, but it's really an arpeggio kind of a setup. And it's kind of fun. I'm sure you've been doing it. You've done some of it. If you're from Vicky's class, I'm sure you did some in Vicky's class. We're going to go very slow. Now, what you need to know about this is you're only going to be worrying about the chords. You're not playing the notes. So don't pay attention to the notes, but you're going to play the chord. For example, if you look in the middle of the page, it shows the picking pattern. Okay, so finger the F, and then you go thumb, first, second, and third. Okay, this is, you're using all your fingers, well, except for your pinky. So it's, that's your first measure. So those are eighth notes. We're going to go kind of slow because this is one of those things you sort of have to build up your speed on. So we're going to start, I guess we can do that practice one at the beginning there. So we'll do F, G7, C7, and F. Remember, you're going to do 2 of those patterns for each chord right here. Okay? So let's go ahead and start. 1, I really have to go slow. 1, 2, 3, 4. G7. C7. F. Am I going too fast? You kind of have to tell me if I'm going too fast. No, it's okay. Some of you, we've got, here's the problem that Jen and I had when we were putting this class together. It's, the class is, beginners are going to be coming here, and we're going to have some of you guys who've been in the Beyond class for a long time, and you've already, mastered a lot of these skills. But the class is really for the beginners who are moving up. So we hope you'll have a little patience and that some of this stuff will be interesting enough and slow enough so that you can learn it a little better. And we are going to throw a little bit of theory in every week so you can learn a little bit more about music. Okay, so we're going to do Love Me Tender. For each chord, you're going to do the pattern, and it will be eighth notes. The pattern, you'll have to repeat the pattern twice, okay? So let's start. Love Me Tender is on the bottom of page 14, and it goes up to the top of 15. If you have the handout, you've got the whole thing. I'm trying to think how slow I want to go. 1, 2, 3, 4. C7, F. We're at the next page. G7, C7, F, F again, F again, B flat, B flat's not good. F again. I'm having trouble. F again. G7. C7. F. And what you could do with this last note is you could strum it. I forgot. Okay. How was it? Was that too fast or too slow, or how did you feel? Do you feel like
Were
you
we
could keep
supposed to?
Everybody to know that Cindy put the link for the Dropbox in the chat box.
Okay.
Someone asked for it.
Okay.
Hey,
Thank
I
you.
think you could go a little slower,
Okay.
just a
Jan?
little slower.
Okay.
Jen,
Okay.
were
we
we
can do
supposed
that.
to do two? Jen, were we supposed to do two? I mean, Charlotte, were we supposed to do two patterns for each measure?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Now we're going to switch though now. The next song, all I have to do is dream. You've got 2 chords in each measure. So we're doing 1 pattern for each chord. Okay? Same pattern. Okay? And we're going to skip the first pickup note there. We're going to start right on C. So 1, 2, let's see, I just try to slow it down a little bit. I was counted out too fast. 1, 2, 3, 4. A minor, F, G7, C, A minor, F, G7, C, A minor, F, G7, C, A minor, F, G7. Okay, we repeat and go back to the top. C, A minor, F, G7, C, A minor, F, G7, C, A minor, F, G7, and then the second ending, C, F, and let's strum the C chord. Pretty, they're very pretty. Okay, we're gonna go, now you need the sound of silence in A minor. We're gonna do that one. Whoops. That was in the Dropbox. I had it in D minor, and it sounds pretty in D minor, but for some reason I was having some trouble playing it, so I switched it over to A minor. So we're going to start, I think we'll just, I'm not sure how our time is going. We'll just play it one time through, and then I have another one we're going to do. Okay, the first measure is an A minor, but it's only 3 beats because it's a pickup measure, but we're going to start on that one anyway. So, but we're going to play the pattern. Now, this one you have to do 2 patterns for each measure, okay? So A minor will be our starting, and then we'll go to G, and then A minor again, C. Now, when you get down to the second line, you've got 2 chords in one measure. So what does that tell you you have to do? 1 pattern for each chord, right? Because otherwise we're doing 2 patterns per measure if there's only 1 chord. Okay, does that make sense? I think that should make sense.
So Charlotte, are we paying any attention to the tab underneath the music?
No,
No.
no, because we're not picking. We are, yeah, we're not, the tab is there for another reason. When I copy these, I usually put the tab in just in case I want to finger pick, do it that. No, thanks for asking. Okay, so A minor, we're going to do 2 patterns. 1, 2, 3, 4. G. A minor. C. F. C. 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 F. C. C. F. F again. F again. A minor. C. G. A minor. Whoops. And then let's play the chord. Somebody wasn't muted, so if you would make sure you mute yourself, because otherwise people can't hear the pattern. Okay, the next one we're going to do is Can't Help Falling in Love. Jen, if you want to screen share it, I'm pretty sure, yeah, it should be in the Dropbox. This is one where I think I got it from Vicky, and it doesn't have the notes. I prefer using notes, but in this case I couldn't come up with anything quickly. This one has a different picking pattern. It's 6/8 time. So you're going to pick down and then back up. So let me show you. This is C. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you go down and then up. There's a it shows you the pattern there. If you use these finger things aren't really right. You use thumb, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2. Okay. So this is real pretty. We'll go ahead and do this. So we'll do the intro. This one, because it's 6/8 time, we're only going to do one pattern per chord. Okay. And when we get to the end, we'll just do a nice C chord. Oh, actually, I'm not going to do it all. I'm just going to do the verse. And we're going to do the first verse because I forgot the bridge is a strum and it's kind of hard. So we're going to do just the top half. You see where it says bridge? We're going to stop before that. Okay. So C, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's kind of slow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. F, C, G, F, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, G, A minor, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, C, G7, C, C, E minor, A minor, F, I got lost, C, G, G, F, G, A minor, F, D7, C, and let's play that last chord. Now, you guys can go through it. The bridge part of it is a strum, and it's the E minor and the B7. So, but it's 1 and 2. I think you'd strum 1 and 2 and 3, 1 and 2 and 3, 1 and 2 and 3, 1 and 2 and 3. Remember, it's 6/8 time, so you have to break it up. I think that's the way you would strum it. And then the verse starts the picking again, and then the end is a picking. So that was just kind of to tease you and give you some interesting things to do. There are 2 more songs in the Dropbox for arpeggio. One is Scarborough Fair in D minor, and the other is Sea of Love, which is also in 6/8 time, and it is beautiful. So I want you to do a little Sea of Love there. And what you need to do on Sea of Love, because that's one of those that I copied from somebody else. I don't think it says that it's 6/8 time, but you need to know that. The Scarborough Fair is in D minor. Sea of Love is in G. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But make sure you write on there, because this one, I think this is another one I got from Vicky, and I think we played it in 4/4 time, and it was just wrong. It should be 6/8 time. Okay. So make sure you mark it on there, because otherwise it doesn't sound very good. Okay, that's it. The only thing I'll probably email you next week to tell you what handouts you need, but I will tell you that I want you to print out the Scales with Tabs handout. All of our music theory starts with the scales. So even though you don't have to memorize the scales, you don't have to play them, you should be able to, in your mind, think about what the scale looks like. If I said a B, not a B, but an F scale, an F chord, and an F scale, an F major scale, excuse me, would you know what it looks like? And so we need to start.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Charlotte. So now we're going to actually do some strum along stuff. And what I do during strum along is I sort of point out to you the weird things that you might not have ever seen before on ukulele music. So this one, each of those notes in brackets is 1 chord. And so we're going to play 4 C's, 4 D7s, 4 Fs, etc. Okay, so that's the intro. And this is from PD Max. So you do have the whole PD Max songbook is available on the website. There's only 4 chords. It's C, D7th, F, G. Oh, I can't even count. Oh, Lordy. C, D7th, F, G, and A minor. Okay. So let's see here. Is everybody muted? Otherwise, it's going to sound cacophonous. There's your word for the day. I'm going to count to 4, and then we're going to start with 4 C's and continue going. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. D7, 3, F, 2, 3, 4, and C, 2, 3, 4. C again, D7, F, and C. Ooh, I need your love, babe. Guess you know it's true. Hope you need my love, babe. Just say, girl, love you all the time. Hold me, love me, hold me, love me. Ain't got nothing but love, babe. 8 days a week, 8 days a week. I love you. 8 days a week is not enough to show I care. Ooh, I need your love, babe. Guess you know it's true. Hope you need my love, babe, just like I need you. Hold me, love me, hold me, love me. Ain't got nothing but love, babe. 8 days a week, 8 days a week. I love you. 8 days a week is not enough to show I care. Love you every day, girl, always on my mind. One thing I can say, girl, love you all the time. Hold me, love me, hold me, love me. Ain't got nothing but love, babe. 8 days a week, 8 days a week, 8 days a week. 2, 3, 4, F. 1, 2, 3, hold. All right, yay. Strum along. That's what we go for. Let's see here. I had 10 songs ready for today, but guess what? It's not going to work. Let's try These Boots Are Made for Walking. And that's just what you'll do. The old Nancy Sinatra from, according to my notes, was written in 65 and recorded by her in 66. Went to #1 US and UK charts. Lots of people have done this, and lots of studio musicians are on this particular recording. So if you're into studio musicians, I suggest you take a look on Google, on Wikipedia actually. So this one we could pick if we really wanted to. There's this run on the C string. Your C string is this one. This is 1, 2. This is C string is #3. Okay, so what we do is find our ninth fret. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. Usually the third one with a marker on it is 10. So 9 is this one. Dinner's ready. Okay, so we're on the third string, the 9th fret, and we just go 9, 9, 9, 8, 8, 7, 7. And then play A. Then we're ready to start, okay? Now there's another place here, halfway down, it says run again. Walk all over 9, 9, 8, 8, 7, 7, dun, dun, da, 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 do, do, do. Okay, then we'll start. You keep lying. All right, let's do it. Otherwise, we're going to run out of time here. Okay. I'm going to skip the run since I just showed it to you, but you can do that when you practice. We'll start on A. You keep saying you got something for me. 1, 2, 3, 4. You keep saying you got something for me. Something you call love, but confess. You've been a messin' where you shouldn't have been a messin', yeah. And now someone else is getting all your best. These boots are made for walking, and that's just what they'll do. One of these days, these boots are gonna walk all over you. You keep lying when you ought to be a truthin'. And you keep losing when you ought to not bet. Ha! You keep saying when you ought to be a changin', yeah. Now what's right is right, but you ain't been right yet. Go back up to the chorus. These boots are made for walking, and that's just what they'll do. One of these days, these boots are gonna walk all over. Skip the run and go to the last verse. You keep playing where you shouldn't be a playing. And you keep thinking that you'll never get burned. Oh, there's that ha. Ha! I just found me a brand new box of matches, yeah. And what he knows, you ain't had time to learn. Back up to the chorus. Second, boots are made for walking, and that's just what they'll do. One of these days, these boots are gonna walk all over you. Yeah, I picked, you guys. I picked. Can you believe it?
Nicely
right
done. Nicely done. I like that. That was fun. We
That
can
was
do. We should
good.
do that again.
Okay, just a reminder for anybody who came in late, if you did not send your email to
Thank
Cynthia in chat, find the chat box, find where it probably just says everyone, click on that, change it to Cynthia, put in your email so we can send stuff to you. Okay, let's see. Happy Together, shall we try? Let's try Happy Together. And I'm not going to screen share these forever, you know. Y'all got to get your Dropbox stuff and you get your books ready, because you can see how much time it takes away from having fun, which is the #1 rule if you didn't know. This one has, okay, let's just make it a little bit bigger here. A 7th, A minor, B flat, C, D, D minor, and F. I think if you've been through the whole beginner thing, you probably have seen those, but go ahead while you're muted and practice if you need to. This song, of course, 1967. It was at #1 for 3 weeks. It was the group's only hit, but one of the people in the reviewing business called it pop perfection. So, you know, they only did one, but they did it perfectly. It was considered one of the 44th most performed song in the United States of the 20th century. And in Sweden, they redid the words and they called it So Happy in Sweden. Okay, whatever. Okay, D minor is what we're going to start on. And let's see if I can get my fingers going again. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Okay, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. And then we'll start singing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Imagine me and you, I do. I think about you day and night. It's only right to think about the girl you love and hold her tight. So happy together. If I should call you up, invest a dime, and you say you belong to me, and ease my mind. Imagine how the world could be so very fine, so happy together. I can't see me loving nobody but you for all my life. When you're with me, baby, the skies will be blue for all my life. Me and you and me, no matter how they toss the dice, it had to be. The only one for me is you, and you for me, so happy together. Again with the chorus. I can't see me loving nobody but you for all my life. When you're with me, baby, the skies will be blue for all my life. Me and you and me, no matter how they toss the dice, it had to be. The only one for me is you, and you for me, so happy together. D. Ba 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 ba. Me and you and me, no matter how they toss the dice, it has to be. The only one for me is you, and you for me, so happy together. Ooh, so happy together. Ooh, how is the weather? Do, do, do. So happy together. Do, 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 do. We're happy together. Do, do, do. So happy together. Do, 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 do. Happy together. Last one. Together. So happy together. All right. I count that as done. And very happy to see everybody tonight. And next time we will get 10 songs in. I promise. I promise. And if you have any questions, you have our, or you will soon have, our emails. Please send us. It's so hard on Zoom to get a question in. So please send any one of us your questions and we'll get back to you by email. And we look forward to seeing you again next Monday, right here. We're here by 4:45, so if you want to come and give a chat, or wait till 5 and tune in. Anybody else have anything to say? Charlotte? Sid?
I don't have anything. Hopefully next week we'll have more singing and more,
And
you know,
less grinding our teeth about the future.
Yes.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you.
Have a great
So
week, you
much.
guys.
Cheers.
Bye.
Lots of fun. Thank you.